I'm going through here and I'm just loosening up and removing any small pieces of concrete. Nothing fancy here. I have an old flathead screwdriver that I'm using. Then once you have that completed, you might have to go back through with a tiny little screwdriver like this and some form of shop vac or a Dyson like this one, and then pull out any of the remaining debris in the crack. Now I'll be using a sealant to seal off this crack, but first you need some type of backing. I prefer to use what's called backer rod. This is a small backer rod that I'm placing in the crack. It's only 1/4 inch, but you want to press the backer rod down into place and make sure it's actually securely held in the concrete. But don't forget, at the end, you need to block the end because we'll be using some sealant. I just use some Gorilla Tape, double it back, and then just apply that to the end of the concrete. Now there's a good chance we might encapsulate some of these ants running around here, but what I'm using is a 29-ounce tube. Remember, this is not a standard 10-ounce tube, which is your smaller, more general purpose tube of any sort of caulk or adhesive. Make sure you have a 29-ounce tube caulk gun so it matches up with this tube. And then just take your time. This is at 8x speed, so it's much slower in real application. And you want to take that time kind of looking right ahead of where you're laying down the sealant to adjust how much pressure you're applying to the actual trigger and adjust how much sealant you're actually putting out there, which in these type of cracks can vary quite a bit. Now for blending this in, you can actually blend it in much more to your driveway compared to just the gray or the limestone look. All you need to do is use that same sand, just play sand or any general purpose sand, and just do a light sprinkling of sand about 10 to 15 minutes after you let the sealant settle in. What I like to do is I want to see the sealant settle in to make sure I don't need to add any additional sealant to fill any voids. And you really only have about 10 minutes while you can add new sealant without the sealant really separating from the original application and not looking very good. So I just wait a few minutes, add any sealant that I need to, and then come back through and put that sand on top to give me a nice blended look like I have here with our sealed crack. So let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments, or if you do something a little bit different. I always appreciate your feedback, and I know it's super valuable to me and also very valuable to the audience.